Let's talk about the coronavirus. It starts as SARS-CoV-2, or Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome Coronavirus 2. SARS-CoV-2 produces COVID-19, an RNA virus. SARS-CoV-2 is part of a family of 3 viruses. There's SARS-CoV-2, then there's SARS-CoV and MERS-CoV. SARS-CoV and MERS-CoV are actually important to this story of vaccine making, because in previous years, scientists have been developing a vaccine for them, thus creating a foundation. However, it is unclear how effective they will be, so there are numerous other vaccines in the making. To make a vaccine from scratch, scientists first must go through an exploratory process. During this process, they'll look at antigens, killed pathogens, and weakened viruses. On January 11, 2020, the genome sequence for the virus was discovered and released. Genome sequences are created when all DNA, or in this case RNA, is sequenced and written out like a code. From this, we can identify specific proteins that will carry out different functions. For example, the NSP1 protein. This protein will slow a cell's creation of its own proteins and then make coronavirus proteins. There are quite a few proteins that scientists can identify. However, there are still many unknowns for COVID-19. With a better understanding of how the coronavirus operates, a race for a vaccine began. As of May 2, 2020, the New York Times reports that there are about 90 projects in the works. Scientists across the globe are tackling the challenge of vaccine making, and they are hoping to do so in record speed. After the exploratory process, there's a preclinical stage. During this stage, studies will test safety as well as immune response in animal testing and cell culture systems. Many vaccines will not provoke the response needed during this stage, but if they do, they move on to human vaccine trials. During human testing, there are 3 phases. Phase 1 includes about 20 to 80 people. These people are symptom-free and considered low risk. Phase 2 is larger. There are hundreds of people. During this phase, they'll test mechanics such as method of delivery and proposed dose. There is also a placebo group. Phase 3 is the largest. It tests tens and thousands of people. During this phase, scientists look at efficacy. At this point, they already know that the vaccine will provoke an immune response. But scientists want to test if this immune response is enough to prevent illness. Thorough testing can take a long time, and very few vaccines will even make it through all 3 phases. But let's say a vaccine does pass phase 3. Then, the Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, will grant the company or developer a license for it to be manufactured. Afterwards, they will continue to monitor it for any new side effects or changes. Right now, there are already a few vaccines in human testing. It's important that we support the science and be patient.